Another episode of the Hoop Fans Podcast. I'm K Rose here, your host with my boy.
Matt Sight, what's going on, people?
What's going on? What's going on, bro? Like I always say, let's get right into it, man. Another episode of the Hoop Fans Podcast. So, bro, I like to start off the episode with hot topics. Hot topics. And the first hot topic I wanted to talk about that I thought was pretty interesting was the fact that Ben Simmons has recently been shut down for the rest of the season again. Again, bro. Due to the same back issues that he's been having trouble with basically the past few years now. They're saying that he has a nerve impingement, and basically, I guess that he has to get looked at some more, and he has to
Mhm.
speak with some more specialists about the best plan of action to really heal his back. So again, Ben Simmons is out for the rest of the season. Talk to me, bro. How do you feel about this? What are your thoughts on this?
I'm losing hope, bro. I'm losing hope. A guy that was once regarded as the future to some degree, is, I mean, we're slowly starting to see him become a what if story. Um, I, the severity of this nerve impingement, bro, I'm struggling to wrap my head around it. I mean, they obviously have countless doctors, specialists, and you know, all that physicians, who've looked at his back, and it just seems like no one can figure it out. So, I'm sad for him. I really am. I don't know, if this is what he is right now, a shell of what he used to be. Um, it's sad, bro. It really is. I like Ben Simmons. I liked his game when he was with Philly. I thought he was a heck of a player. You know what I mean? I still think he has the capabilities, but it's sad to hear that they're shutting him down again. It feels like this is just, um, this is a routine thing with him now. So I hope he heals up. I hope he gets the um, proper care and service and is able to come back healthy. It seems like it's you know just a prayer at this point, but I'm
Yeah, I
losing
mean,
faith.
I think I feel like the majority of hoop fans in the basketball world, media fans alike, whoever, even teams in the NBA are pretty much lost faith in Ben Simmons.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so just some background, bro. So this season, well, something you said kind of struck me, right? Like it kind of alluded to like it being like deja vu, because basically it really is. You figure they're shutting him down right now. It's March, the month of March this season in the 2024 season. He got shut down the same around the same exact time frame last season in 2023. They shut him down March 2023 for the rest of the season because of the lower back impingement. When you think about it, bro, this season he was averaging 6 points, 7.9 rebounds, 5.7 assists, shooting a respectable 58% percent from the field, right? And it's sad because at the peak of his powers, bro, you could pretty much book Ben Simmons, and this is not a lot, but you could book him for 16, 8, and 8, right?
Hmm.
16 points, 8 assists, 8
Hmm.
rebounds with stellar defense, right? When he was at his peak, one of the best defenders in the NBA, especially from that forward position. You think
Absolutely.
about it, bro, what he accomplished in his short time. Look at it like this, bro. Before he started to come down on his decline, this is what he had accomplished in his career. Rookie of the year. He's already been a three-time All-Star, two-time first team all defense, and he's been the runner-up for defensive player of the year. And his career, technically, honestly, he should be in his physical prime.
Yeah.
He should be in
Yeah.
his prime.
Absolutely. No, I was gonna say, just to kind of build upon what you were saying, he was just scratching the surface of what he could be. He was giving us a small sample size of the future. Of what the future held for Ben Simmons. And um, you know, I watched a game I think it was about probably a month and a half ago. I don't know who they were playing, but I saw him basically have a wide open lane, again, and he gave up basically a point blank shot that he could have made easily
This
and dished
season,
it off to somebody. Yes, this season it was reminiscent of that play he had against the Hawks in the playoffs. I think it was 2021, the 2021 playoffs, when they got beat. And then, obviously he got highly criticized for that play when he dished it off when he had a wide open layup against Trey Young.
yep.
So his offensive abilities, they weren't always great, but he's a heck of a driver. He's a heck of a finisher. He's strong, 6'10", 240. we're not saying shoot threes. We're just saying use your size and your strength to get to the basket a little bit and finish. And I know that's maybe a little, offensive minded. I guess people want to see him score. He might not be that, but you said he's averaging 6.9 points a game. I mean, that's a career low. That's he could easily average 12, 12, 13, I think with back pain. So I think I think his confidence is shot. I think he's sticking to what he is best at, which is passing, rebounding, and giving some defense. Um, but I don't know, man. I think all his confidence went away, and it wasn't even there before the back injury. So now I think it's just almost at zero.
And I think that's a big distinction for me. A lot of fans I've seen on Twitter, social media, some fans are coming across as if they're questioning the legitimacy of his injury. And
Uh-huh.
for me, I don't question it. To me, like you said, he's averaging 6 points. He played like 20 minutes a game. He's coming off the bench. He's averaging 6 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. A
Uh-huh.
healthy Ben Simmons is better than that.
For
Now,
sure.
say what you
Absolutely.
want to say about his game and his shortcomings, which the issue I feel like a lot of people have had, which you touched on, was he's always been scratching the surface.
Hmm.
It's like his entire career, he's been scratching the surface. We've never seen any improvement
Hmm.
offensively from him. So a healthy Ben Simmons is better than the numbers we've been reading off. So I believe the legitimacy of his back injury, and I do think it's a shame that his career has kind of come to this point. And I agree with you, bro. I hope that he's able to get their treatment and the correct rehabilitation, whatever he needs to fix his back problems. Because a healthy Ben Simmons is exciting for the league, right? I think the Brooklyn Nets look different with the healthy Ben Simmons.
Oh yeah,
Um,
sure.
I also think, yeah, bro, it's just a shame. Okay, tell me this, bro, off the top of your head. If his career pretty much ends up, hopefully it doesn't. If it ends now or it's pretty much downhill, even more so from now on, is he a top 10 what if off the top of your head?
Yeah, he's top 10 what if because then now we're putting him in a very similar career slash career achievements with like Penny, Brandon Roy.
Yes, we are. He might have more than some of them.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think T Mac had a career. He had a long career, but it was riddled probably like little halfway through his career with like injuries. So Ben's a different case. It's like he really didn't. I mean, he's 27 right now. You know what I mean? He'll be 28 in the summertime, I believe. So it's not like he's this 31-year-old, 32-year-old guy that's out of his prime and just on a slow decline. It's like he's a younger dude that fell on some hard injuries. Like you said, we're not going to question the legitimacy of his injury. It's like it's clear he's suffering. It's clear that there's definitely some extra other stuff going on with his mental. Um, and it's just sad, bro, because he was heralded to be like a LeBron slash Lamar Odom hybrid, and that's high
Bro.
praise.
Bro,
Like,
I think we can end the Ben Simmons topic with this. Me piggybacking on that point. When
uh-huh.
I first saw, I will never forget this. When I first saw Ben Simmons, his debut in the summer league,
Hmm.
that rookie year, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was watching him play. I forgot what team it was. Obviously, he was on the Sixers and their summer league team, and I saw him complete some of the passes that he has become known to throw in his career up to this point. But I was just seeing it for the first time. I literally looked at him and was like, "Yo, there's another LeBron." I'm
Hmm.
not gonna lie. Like when I watched that, I was watching the highlights. I remember I was like, "Yo, there's another LeBron." Like we got another one. And I think And I mean, I couldn't believe it at the time because I was like, bro, he's really 6'10". He's really big, like older LeBron. Like he was
Yeah.
at that point coming in the league, he was big like older LeBron. And he's
Hmm.
passing the ball and handling the ball like a point guard. I was like, we have another LeBron James. This is before I knew he didn't want to shoot. This is before I knew he might be shooting with the wrong hand. This is before I knew he didn't have a great work ethic, supposedly. Before I knew any of this, just looking at him, I was like, damn, that's LeBron James. That's the 2.0. So I think he's easily top 10 what if story if his
Yeah.
career doesn't have a better ending going
Yeah.
forward. Now,
Absolutely.
I think this is a great transition though, bro, because Ben Simmons is a number one pick.
Mhm.
The number one pick I want to talk about right now, and I've seen it in the circles in terms of he might not be getting the attention he deserves for his play. And I think they're so similar. Paolo Banchero, bro. Paolo Banchero, I think this is, let me just say
Eh,
this. He might be Ben Simmons with some game. What
yeah,
I mean by game is like individual offensive game. He might be Ben Simmons
yeah.
with a jump shot at, and just an attacker's mentality.
That's a hell of a point, bro.
I really think he is. And so I want to read off his stats real quick, bro. He's averaging for the regular season. Bancaro is he's played in 63 games so far, averaging 22.8 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, 5.2 assists, playing 35 minutes a game, shooting 45% from the field, 36% from three. In the Orlando Magic. And the Magic, bro, at this current juncture, fifth seed in the East at 37 and 28, led by that man in his second year. Talk to me, bro. Are we not giving Bancaro the love he's supposed to receive as hoop fans? Is he supposed to get more attention from us?
Yeah, I think individually he's not getting as much attention as he deserves. And even as a team, I don't think that Orlando Magic squad gets a whole lot of love in the media. I mean, right now they're sitting at the fifth seed in the East, but bro, you hit it. Like I said, you hit it right on the head with that comparison between Ben Simmons and him. He's a more complete offensive player, obviously, than Ben Simmons was at this time, and even currently as Ben Simmons is right now. But
Ever.
he's slowly developing that long distance shot, 3-point range. Is getting there. He's a big body, bro. 6'9", 6'10", 240, 245. Draw comparisons of LeBron, young LeBron. Um,
Yes. Yes.
so I think that obviously he got the All-Star nod this year, but I believe he's pretty underrated. I don't think he gets talked about enough. He's putting up some hellish statistics. He does it all for that Magic squad. Him and Franz Wagner are definitely a young duo that's on the rise for sure in the East. I think Paolo, bro, he can take it as far as he wants to take it. He's got that much, wiggle in his game. He moves well. He's mobile. Arguably can play 1 through 5. You know what I mean? It's weird. That's where basketball's going, but he's like positionless now. He's
Bro,
just
I agree, bro. And it's just weird. Like I can't agree more with you, bro. Like it's like he can it's same thing with Ben Simmons, like with
right.
their size and their frame and their ability to handle the basketball. And with Ben Carroll, like you said, him being able to kind of knock down an outside jumper, hit a mid-range, be more aggressive in terms of isolation, he really can do what he wants. And they really look like Braun at a young
Yeah,
age, like
yeah.
just physically, bro. Like, I think one thing that hoop fans may not like, even though LeBron James and maybe, well, I can't even say that because both Ben Simmons and Paolo were one and duns. Braun came in from high school, right? But he was a little bit older. But
Mhm.
like, he had a man's frame, but he wasn't like Ben or like Paolo,
Nah.
bro. These dudes are huge, bro. And maybe I think some of it is because maybe they had like a year of college weight
Mhm.
training before they
Mhm.
entered the league too. But when I'm looking at him, bro, I give my reasoning as to why I think he's a number one pick and may not be getting the attention. Number one, like you said, the Orlando Magic. I don't think a lot of people are checking for them outside of Orlando
Mhm.
or outside of Florida. And I think their brand of basketball, while he may be a little exciting, overall, I do find myself when I watch their games kind of bored.
Yeah, they are a little boring.
Just because like they play hellish defense. They can
Mhm.
guard. They
Mhm.
can't shoot for shit. They can't, they can't really shoot. They average and they're like bottom they're like in the low 20s in the league for offense,
Mhm.
averaging like 110 points a game. So their games aren't the most exciting because they have trouble shooting and then they stop other teams from scoring because they're such a great defensive team. Um, but I definitely think he deserves more love though.
You see him being a franchise player for years to come, or do you feel like he would try to relocate to a bigger market? Because Orlando, bro, we know this. It's a very small franchise. Not a whole lot of star power in Orlando.
But it's Florida. That's
Right.
the one thing where I say it's Florida. So at least where weather wise, it seems like a more pleasant place to live, right? That's Disney World. And I think that he seems to be the type of player, at least from what I've seen in interviews and just his
Hmm.
demeanor, where he wants to be a lead guy and
Hmm.
lead a franchise somewhere. What I do need to stop happening is this. Who's the best player on that team, bro?
Right now,
Right now, who is the best player on the
Paolo,
Magic?
Paolo, Paolo Banchero. No, no.
I'm tired of it, bro. And I think this dude is nice as well. I think Franz is nice. Let's
Uh-huh.
be very very clear. But I'm tired of hearing and that he's the best player in the Magic. He's not.
I don't. I mean, I've heard that a couple times, but are you hearing that a lot? That narrative that he's the best, that Wagner
Bro,
is the best.
on Twitter, I see it a lot because he has a kind of a cult like following.
Yeah, that's
Franz.
a little weird. That's a little weird. I mean, the
He no
eye
no,
test
and
is
he kind
weird.
of deserves it. He deserves the praise. I
Yeah,
just think even if it's close right now, which I don't necessarily think it is, even if it was close right now, if we're projecting forward, I don't think you can go away from the from Paolo. Like I don't think like to me he's the much more safer bet to be the better player.
yeah. And I will say this: the Orlando Magic have a history of, um, having superstar players and them slipping through their fingers, whether it be not resigning, whether it be through injuries, they just lose their patience and faith in them. We saw that with Shaq. We saw that with a little bit with Penny, prior to the injuries. T Mac, we saw it with T Mac, they let him go, and Dwight Howard. So
Wow, yep, yep.
those are four Hall of Famers, whatever you want to call them. So I hope they understand with Paolo that you're dealing with I think I would say he's a generational talent. I think that he,
Oh yeah.
6'10" guys shouldn't move like that. You know what I mean? And be that skilled.
And
So
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
they got to recognize what they have and don't, miss out on that.
I agree, bro. And I think them kind of sneaking everybody prior to his rookie season and selecting him number one. Because if you remember, he wasn't the consensus number one pick leading like literally up to the draft. Like they kind of shocked everyone because it was a
Mhm.
lot of reports that he was going to get taken third, possibly.
I
And they
remember that.
kind of just snuck
Yeah.
by and was like, we grabbed him. So I think that they recognize his value. Last thing I'll say on this is I do believe that, and some of this is when I bring up Zion's name, some of this is Zion's fault, what I'm about to say, and not so much Paolo. I think well, let me explain it this way. Is there anything really unique about Paolo in for today's standards? And what I mean by that is when you have 7'6" aliens being drafted right now that can play every position, and you've got if it's not that, it's a 6'2" Derrick Rose explosive type point guard. Like when those are like the unique talents,
Hmm.
even somebody like Paolo, who's just the 6'10" strong forward who can handle the ball, like
Hmm.
that's not as special anymore. And I think that's why I think he might get
Yeah.
slipped through the cracks a little bit. Because
That's
Chet gets a
crazy.
lot of headlines right now.
That's crazy. That's crazy because I mean, he's literally in the middle of what you said, a 6'3",
He's a
6'4" point
unicorn
guard.
too.
Yeah, he's a unicorn too. He's like a middle of the road unicorn, which is nuts to say. Like,
That's he's a middle of the road unicorn, bro. And I think that's why because there's nothing crazy unique about him, right?
yeah,
Even though we're saying he's like LeBron James, he's just tall and he can handle, and that's
yeah.
special. But when you're looking at Wimby and you're looking at Chet, or you're looking at what Scoot Henderson could be,
Hmm.
like stuff like that, he might not be as, or even Zion six
Hmm.
five is just different. But I think we definitely got to give him some love, man. Shout out to Paulo Bencaro, man. He's been hooping. I got to tune into some more games from him. Moving
For sure.
on, man. Another hot topic, bro. Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics. They had a game recently, which,
Hmm.
in my opinion, looked like a preview for the finals. We've spoken on that. Give me your thoughts about the game, bro. What did you take away from their
Oh my,
matchup?
yeah, bro. I had that marked on the calendar. I was waiting for that, and to me, it lived up to the hype. That was a game that you see in the finals in June, bro. And I hope we do. That's box office right there. Um, both teams did not disappoint. Um, I feel like for the Celtics, for the moment, Jalen Brown stepped up. I don't think Jason Tatum, had a great game. I think it was Porzingis and and Brown that really stepped up and really showed who they are. But I'm still waiting on Tatum, man. I'm still waiting for him to kind of seize that moment and show us why he is regarded as a top five guy. Until then, I can't really put him in the category of guys like Luka, Shea, Jokic, Embiid. Um, even a guy like Donovan Mitchell, bro. I don't see that clutch factor in Jason Tatum, bro. I just don't. And this might be a hot take. It might be. I might be going off on a tangent, and it's no shade at Jason Tatum at all. I like him. I like his game, but he's just too cool. He's just too cool out there, bro. And he doesn't seize that shit. So on the other hand, with the Nuggets, bro, I mean Jokic and Murray did their thing. Porter went crazy. I mean, come on, bro. And Aaron Gordon, ferocious. You know what I mean? He just they took that shit. They took it from Boston. They did. They showed
Did
us
that.
why they're the defending champs, and um I hope they run it back. I hope we get a series out of that for sure. So
I would not be mad at all at the finals. Now, hold, bro. I gotta go back to what you said now. Those last two people, let me just make sure I heard correctly. Did you name Embiid and Donovan Mitchell in that?
I did. Yep.
No way, bro. I can't. It's no way. And what were you naming them? How are you naming them in comparison to Tatum? Like, what were you saying when you brought them up?
Takeover. That takeover mode.
How? No, 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 no. I'm
Oh.
sorry. No, 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 no. I mean, first of all, we can't say Embiid because we saw what happened last year. Tatum dropped. They were down 3-2 in that series against the Philadelphia 76ers last year. Tatum dropped 50 to send them home when James Harden and Embiid didn't show up. So I can't put Embiid over him. And then Donovan Mitchell, I can't put Donovan Mitchell over him either. Donovan Mitchell has had seasons where the Utah Jazz were the number one seed and they get knocked out early in the second round. So against like the Clippers that particular season. So I can't go with Donovan Mitchell either. I wouldn't take Embiid or Donovan Mitchell over Jason Tatum. I think
Currently.
that's going too far. Now, if you're saying,
Oh,
if you're,
bro.
I mean, I mean, I don't think they are up for debate. I don't think they're up for debate, in my opinion. I can't even say that they're in debate with Tatum to me because
Okay.
I just think they can be just as inconsistent, if not worse. Um, but I'll say this, especially in beat, I don't think he's as clutch. He's not clutch like that at all to me. Now, with that being said, as far as speaking about the Nuggets and Celtics, my thoughts on it, I will say this: watching the game, the podcast prior to that game that we had recorded, we
Hmm.
spoke about how dominant the Celtics were and like were we overthinking it possibly. We were asking out loud, were we
Oh, yeah, yeah.
overthinking it? And against the Nuggets, it kind of brought me back to the reality of like, okay, let's slow down now. We have the defending champs, and when push comes to shove, more often than not, well, damn near 99% you can count on Joker showing up,
Hmm.
right? And more often than not, Jamal Murray has just shown he's going to show up when it matters most.
Hmm.
And that showed in that game. When you look at the stats, right, and you see, okay, Joker, 32 points, 12 rebounds, 11 assists, +9, plus minus. Jamal Murray, 19, 6 and 8. Just a +4, plus minus. Then, like you stated, Jaylen Brown with 41 points. He had an amazing game and really carried the Celtics throughout that game, kept them in it throughout the whole game. And while he got torched one-on-one
Hmm.
defensively against Joker,
Hmm.
Porzingis showed up as well. And so I say all that to say this: despite them losing that game and Tatum not performing, I do think Boston can take that as a positive. And what I mean by that is it came down to the wire. Drew Holiday, Kristaps, and Jaylen Brown all hit big shots. So push comes to shove in this series. I think Boston knows, like, okay, we can compete.
Hmm.
We can compete, right? We can compete with the Nuggets.
Hmm.
And I think they can leave that game saying to themselves, Tatum didn't play well. You play better, we win that game. I think they can leave that game seeing that Porzingis is going to make Joker work on the defensive end. It's going to be very hard for Joker to have to close out to all the pick and pops that Jaylen Brown and Porzingis, Derek White and Porzingis present. So overall, I think Boston, even though they lost, I think they should take that game as a positive, as in we're right there, right there.
Yeah. No, I mean, all valid points, bro. All valid points. Back on the Celtics, I just feel like Jason Tatum, man, we had this conversation, is a dude that's, you know, he's got a great team around him, and his success lies on the greatness of his team rather than, him being this superstar that's carrying his team to victories every night, like we see some superstars do. And that's kind of what I mean when I say, like, I'll take, a guy like Embiid or Donovan Mitchell or KD, or Shea or Luca or even Jokic for that matter, because they've proven that they can will and pull their teams to victory. And I don't have that faith where if you put Jason Tatum on a team like the Cavaliers or the Sixers, I don't think, bro, he's doing that. I just don't think he has.
But
I
are
think
we
he needs to be
talking regular
surrounded by a
season?
group. I
Are
was
we
talking
talking?
about regular season. Yeah,
But what? So to you, how much does that matter to you though? Because if it doesn't, for
I
some of those
mean,
guys, if it doesn't translate to the postseason, what are we talking about?
that's a fact. That's a fact. I mean, you're right. Yeah, you are right in that regard. Where like, I mean, yeah, neither of them, any of them really, aside from Jokic or
I give Luca that.
yeah,
Luca carries it in the playoffs.
yeah,
I give him
yeah,
that.
bro. But I've never seen Tatum just will his team to victory. I never seen it,
He,
bro.
I don't know, bro, because to me, 50 in a game seven to go to the conference finals, that's a will.
Yeah, but bro, I remember in that game, Al Horford was on some other shit. You know what I mean? He
But
was
50 is 50, bro. You 50 is 50.
50 is
And and
50.
and to me, when they were down, look at it like this. They've been down 3-2 two consecutive seasons. He was down 3-2 to Giannis in them 2 years ago. And I think he had
Oh
a
yeah,
50
yeah,
point
yeah.
game in game six to get them to game seven. Then they're down 2-3 to Philadelphia last season, the 2023 season. He has 50 to send them home. I do think, and I think this is an even better conversation that we're having specifically on Jason Tatum, bro.
Mhm.
I do think that at times he gets dinged for certain things while we praise others who haven't exactly accomplished what he's accomplished or carried it like he's carried it when we
Mhm.
really look at it. Because to me, the regular season is the regular season. That's one thing. And maybe you're right. Maybe he's not the type of player that can necessarily carry you throughout a entire season by himself. Like
Mhm.
somebody, he's not, I think I would describe it as this, bro. He's not he's not a heliocentric offensive player, meaning you can't have everything revolve around him.
You
He's just
cannot.
not that type of player.
He's a superstar. He's a superstar, and is obviously he's a superstar. But I'm not taking that away from him. I just think he needs to be surrounded by a squad who, you know, crosses all their T's and dots their I's, aka
I
Drew
agree.
Holiday, bro. You know he's gonna lock up two way, Derek White two way. They like cover um
Deficiencies.
his blemishes and what he can't do. And we know he can score at the best of them. That's no but he's not a two-way player. He's definitely had his moments with that 50 piece you talked about last year in the playoffs against Philly. Yeah, I definitely forgot about that. I did. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know, bro. I mean, we'll see. Boston is I'm not gonna say they're at this point they're like historical, bed shitters, but like they've been there and they haven't seized it. You know what I mean? I mean, you can
Yeah.
credit that to youth. You can credit that to them just being young and inexperienced. Um, but they've had opportunities for a while now, for a while. And they're knocking on that door for sure. But I
No,
got
I
to see
think
some hardware. You know what I mean? Like,
after a while it doesn't matter. I think hoop fans have a different expectation after a while. And
mhm,
I think we can end it on this. I agree with you. I do think that at times Tatum has been the unfortunate beneficiary of just high ass expectations, which are understandable. And I think a lot of his peer group are just now starting to enter in that phase where now it's like championship or bust for them, or
right.
but where he's kind of been there since the start of his career because they made a Eastern Conference Finals run his first year in the NBA. So I don't
Hmm.
think we've ever given Tatum the chance to kind of develop as a young guy because his teams have just always been expected to play late in the
Right.
playoffs, right? So whereas guys like Luca, guys like a Trey, guys like Embiid, at some point they've kind of been allowed to develop a little bit and be bad, right? Or just not have
Mhm.
their bad habits go as noticed. But I agree, bro. Overall, Denver Nuggets, Boston Celtics. I would love that finals, man. I think it would be very, very interesting. Um, moving on, bro. Just some other quick hitters. Carl Anthony Towns, the Minnesota Timberwolves. He had surgery recently on his torn meniscus. He is expected to be back for the Western Conference playoffs at some point early on. Um, talk to me, bro. What? How do you think this will affect the Wolves' season? Do you think
Um,
do you think they'll be able to continue to compete for that number one seed in the West?
yeah, I think they're gonna drop a little bit. I don't think they're gonna. I think that Carl Anthony Towns is a definitely a big piece in their success, right? Like he's an All-Star year, despite some claims that he shouldn't have been. But he's putting up some decent numbers this year, definitely deserving of it. Um, it's an unfortunate injury at a terrible time, but I think Anthony Edwards and company can definitely hold their own until he gets back. If he does make a return in time for the postseason, I think he will, but I don't know what his percentage is going to be.
Yeah.
Um, I think it's a huge loss, but to me, that I wasn't really looking at them as a contender to begin with. So
Mm.
I don't think they go down first, second round this year. It's like a failure of a season.
Because
Um,
you didn't expect them
no,
to yeah, you didn't expect them.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with you in terms of I think that they're going to drop as it currently stands right now. They're on a losing streak. They're 44 and 21. They're third in the West under the Nuggets who are currently 44 and 20 um and the Thunder who are the number 1 seed at 45 and 19 and both of them are on multiple game win streaks right now. So I can and in watching the game actually I watched the Wolves play the Lakers recently,
hmm
yesterday as of this recording. Um, and I just noticed where they're going to miss Cat, right? And now, granted, they had other guys that were injured as well. Didn't have Kyle Anderson, um, to help them, and they didn't have Rudy Gobert. So that's a little different as well. But just offensively, you're taking away 20 to 25 points a game. You're taking away probably 4 to 5 threes a game.
hmm
And it's going to put a lot of pressure on Anthony Edwards to try to pick up that slack because you can't really count on it to come from Rudy Gobert.
yeah,
You really can't. I mean, you can't really count on it to come from Mike Conley at his age. You can't really count on it to come from Jaden McDaniels because he's not necessarily an offensive guy even yet. You know what I mean? He's raw still, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would look at a guy like Nas Reed, bro, to kind of step up and kind of take over. This is a very good opportunity for him. I mean, he's a beast. If you watch, I mean, Hoop fans, you gotta talk to us how you guys feel about Nas Reed because he's been on the come up for a while now, and I think this is maybe his moment to really, if it's not with the Timberwolves, give an opportunity for other teams to see, what he's all about. Maybe he can get a decent contract somewhere else, but um, I think he's got the makings of being a double double guy for sure. He can pass the ball, he can dribble. He's a bit of a little unicorn as well. So I look at him, bro, to average, 14 to 17, in the absence of Cat.
They're gonna
Um,
need 20 from him. And
yeah,
here's the thing: in the Laker game, he gave it to him because
yeah,
he had a 20 ball dub. He was hooping.
uh-huh.
And he's at 6'10, he's a really good shooter. He's
Mhm,
kind of actually, to be honest, he's going to be their second option moving forward
mhm,
until Cat gets healthy, just because of his skill package. He's
mhm,
very similar to Cat.
mhm,
Only difference is I believe Cat rebounds, right?
mhm.
Or he rebounds. Nas doesn't really rebound, and
Yeah,
yeah, very well, and it kind of makes sense because he's a little undersized at the power forward position. Um, but he is going to be the guy that they're going to need to really step up, and I think he's capable. I agree with you there. I do agree with you. Overall, though, I don't think. Um, I just think Cat's too important of a piece for them to be able to maintain themselves in the standing against uh the Thunder and um the Nuggets. I don't think they'll be able to stay ahead of them. Now, this is who it may benefit very well. The Clippers. And I would say this, they need to be gunning for it. And actually, I don't know. You tell me, bro. You tell me. As it stands right now, the Clippers are the fourth seed in the West. If the
Yeah.
playoffs, if the playoffs started right now, they would have a first round matchup against the Pelicans, and the Timberwolves would have a first round matchup against the Suns. Do you think the Clippers would rather play the Pelicans or the Suns? So if the Clippers gunned it and really tried to gun and go get that third seed, do you think they would do that because they know they may have the Suns waiting on them there?
Well, I think a healthy Clippers team um, beats either squad. Um, if I'm the Clippers, I think I would probably want to face saying Devin Booker's healthy, and Phoenix has their pieces. I think I'd rather play, an inexperienced New Orleans squad,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. Just because, inexperience, they can just clearly take that game over, take that series over. Um, so yeah, definitely. But they're gonna move up the. I'm looking at the standings right now, and like you said, currently sitting, um, 4 wins below OKC for one. I don't see them. They might fight with Denver for that second spot, but I definitely see them overtaking Minnesota for the 3 seed.
I do
Um,
think they will. And I can't even say
they
I
might.
brought up the Suns. They may not even the sixth seed is up for grabs because all
Yeah,
of them are within one game. So who they
yeah,
wouldn't even know who would be the sixth seed, honestly.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
honestly, bro, I don't think you can put it past them to maybe. OKC's been great all year, so they might not move. But I would say don't be surprised if they climb with number one or two, and
I
Denver
think
moves to three.
I can't see it, bro. I can't see the Clippers overtaking the Nuggets and the Thunder for the simple fact that if every all the teams remain relatively healthy like they are right now,
Hmm.
I do think I don't think I think the Nuggets want the number one seed because I think they want home in the
Yeah,
playoffs the whole way. I feel like they know they may not have as great of a margin of error, so they need that home court advantage. So
yeah,
I do think both the Thunder and the Nuggets will be gunning for it. Like they're not going to take their foot off the gas, and I think they're too many games behind. I do think they are going to overtake the Timberwolves, and it remains to be seen who will be the sixth seed. Though I think that's going to be very interesting. I think the Lakers might mess around and get
do
the
you really?
six. Yeah, I think they might mess around and get the 60 because they've been hooping lately, bro. I can't even lie to you. They've been hooping and they've got a little bit of a rhythm now. Moving on, bro. You know what I mean? We coming to an end, but let's get to it, bro. Um, speaking on that six seed, well, dang, we kind of just spoke on it, bro. We kind of just spoke on it. So I think we could just move. I think we could just move on. Western Conference playoffs, we were speaking on it already. Who do you think will be the final eight teams? Give me your list.
Final eight squads, bro. I got it
Final
in
eight squads. You're looking at the
front of me.
standings right now. Give me your
Yep.
final eight teams.
I'm gonna start with the East. So from the East, I got Cavs, Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Knicks, Magic, Miami, and I like Chicago, bro, getting that 8 seed, whatever.
In no Indiana?
No Indiana. I don't. No,
No
no, no, no,
Indiana.
no
No
Indiana.
Indiana. Okay.
Not
Okay.
confident in them at all. My West, very similar. We were talking about. I got Clippers, Nuggets, Mavericks, Thunder, Pelicans, Kings, Lakers, and Timberwolves. So no Warriors. I don't think that they're gonna, catch a stride towards the end of the season. I do have confidence in your Lakers. I think they've been playing a great brand of basketball.
Lately, yeah. They've been
Um,
there.
and the
Who-
Kings, I think that,
No
you know,
Kings? Is the Kings in it?
yeah, Kings are in there. I think they'll get in. Their
Who
defense is
so who
shoddy,
out of
but
the top 10, who's missing? Who's missing out of that? The
from
Warriors
in
and
the
who else?
West, it's going to be Sacramento and Dallas.
Those are the two that are not
Or
gonna make it.
excuse me, Golden State and Dallas.
Golden State. Oh,
Yeah,
you don't got the Dallas Mavericks making the
excuse me. No,
playoffs?
no, no. I do have the Mavericks in there. I'm tripping. Um, damn, I have Phoenix in it,
Well,
not in it, and
Thunder,
Golden
Nuggets,
State.
Wolves, Clippers. You got
Yep.
Pelicans in?
Yeah.
You got the Suns in?
I don't.
You don't have the Suns making the
They're not in
playoffs?
it. No, they're not in it. They're not in mine.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think it's realistic now that I'm looking at it, but
What? Really?
yeah,
What?
yeah, for real, yeah.
You think they're gonna? You think they're gonna eliminate? So okay, tell me. Well, it's gonna have to be a play-in situation. You don't think they're gonna make it past the play-in if they
Nah.
don't get this top six
Well,
seed? They're currently six. If they don't get this top
yeah.
six seed, they're probably
Right
gonna be in a
now,
play-in.
yeah, right now, like my list doesn't even matter because right now they're in the playoffs. They're not even in a playoff scenario.
But even if they were in a play-in, because that's what would happen if they were not to make it. I don't think they would just outright be the 10th seed. They're not. The
No,
Rockets aren't catching
yeah,
them. So if they were not in the top six and they're going to be in a play-in, you got faith in Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal getting knocked out in a playoff one
yeah,
game
bro. If
situation.
if they play a team like Dallas, yeah, yeah. I swear, bro, I can see it. Like I can see it, bro. Like
No, 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 no. I'm with you. I'm with you. I do think it's going to be hard for
it'd be nuts.
one game for their life. I do think it's going to be hard to stop a Kevin Durant. And as much as I may criticize him, it's going to be hard. And not even Kevin Durant, bro. Not even Kevin Durant. Play-in situation, I think it's going to be hard to take out a Devin Booker. Now we have seen him shit the bed
They're
in
just
playoff game
yeah.
sevens, but I do think Devin Booker, like, they're a little different. For me, going off of you. So you got Suns and you got the Mavericks not making it. Excuse me, Suns and the Warriors not making it.
Hmm.
I'll go in the East. I've got the Celtics, the Bucks, the Cavs, the Knicks, the Magic, the Sixers. I have the Heat, and I
Hmm.
have the Pacers, and I have the Pacers. Yeah, I have the Pacers.
Okay.
I have the Pacers making it. You know what though? I'm not mad at you not having to make it because I do think in a playing
Ooh.
situation, I can see a Chicago, a DeMar go stupid one game and knock them out. And I don't know if Tyrese Halliburton is even though they did well in the play in the in season tournament, they made it to the chip of the in season tournament. So I'm gonna keep it there. I like that. I don't think Chicago is gonna make it. I don't think the Hawks are gonna make it either.
Are we a
Now
fan of the playing tournament, bro?
I am.
You are.
I love it because I think part of the reason why I love it is because teams that we didn't think were going to be in it have been in it, and that is the Lakers. That is the Warriors. So we're
Hmm.
seeing these superstars play in it. I think that kind of plays a factor in why we like it. Steph, LeBron, one game for it all. You really can't go wrong with that. I think whenever we get to a point where it's that the real eighth, ninth, 10th seeds playing in it, we may not care as much.
Hmm.
Um, East, I mean, excuse me, West, Thunder, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Clippers. I have the Suns. I have wow, I have the Lakers. I have the Pelicans, Thunder, Nuggets, Wolves, Clippers, Pelicans, Suns, Lakers. I need one more. I have the Mavericks. No, 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 no. I have damn, bro. Somebody's not gonna make the playoffs. I had the Kings missing the playoffs.
I mean, yeah. I mean, as I look at my list, I might have messed up with that. You know what I mean? I might have given them too much. You know, too much. They don't have it. I mean, their offense is decent. Their defense is terrible. Um, but one of my biggest thoughts when I said Phoenix isn't making it, because if they match up with a team like Dallas, bro, in the play-in, they're gonna get out rebounded. Dallas has bigs, bro, that can rebound.
They do.
Gafford,
They do.
um, the big boy,
Lively.
Derek Lively, and then PJ Washington. But
PJ
you got Luca
Washington.
who rebounds. You got the boy, the Australian dude. They got two.
Dante Exum. Dante Exum.
Who's the other boy?
Australian?
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name. Man, it'll come to me. I'm just drawing a
They got an
blank.
Australian? They got two Australians on it?
He's like a two
First of all,
guard.
is Dante Exum Australian?
Gets up crazy. Yeah, Dante Exum's
Okay,
Australian.
okay, it's Australian. Yeah, he's Australian.
He gets up like crazy, bro. He gets on the break. Luca's always giving it to him.
The two guard from Australia?
Shout out to my guy. I'm drawing a blank. It'll come to me.
Not the light skin boy, right?
Yeah, it's another light skinned dude. Um,
Josh. Maybe his name is Josh. I know someone named Josh on there. Anyway,
Josh Green.
he's Australian?
Yeah,
I did not know that. Okay,
I'm pretty
okay. Josh
sure.
Green. Josh Green. Okay.
Um, so they got rebounders, bro. And aside from Nurkic, who I think he can get worked, physically. And then Eubanks, that's it. I mean, who else they got?
KD, he'll have to rebound.
Yeah, bro, I don't see it happening.
I don't have the Warriors and the Kings making it. They're not going to make it. As much as the Warriors, I kind of want to say they're going to get in. I can see the Mavericks knocking one of them out, like the Mavericks knocking them out in the play-in.
You think we're
Um,
giving too much credit to the Pelicans? You think they could be a possible team that doesn't make it?
no, because I do think they're going to make the top six.
Okay.
For me, I think they're going to make the
Yeah.
top six. I don't think they're going to play in the play-in.
I want them to be
Um,
great so bad, bro. I want them to be great
I do
so
too.
bad.
I think they're probably a first round exit. Maybe like they'll make the second round maybe, but they're a second round. I don't think they'll go any further than that. I would
Yeah.
love to see it though, but I don't think so. I don't think I think if they stay healthy, they'll be fine. The Suns are dealing with like no Devin Booker right now.
Hmm.
The Warriors are kind of a little bit behind. The Lakers will get up there, but I got the Kings making the top six. Um, so that's a good topic, bro. I think that's a good topic. Lastly, bro, we could finish on this too. I was watching Jeff Teague's podcast and I saw a little bit of the hoopla from it. Talk to me, bro. When it's all said and done, James Harden, how are we supposed to look at him? The reason I say that, they basically said that James Harden is a top three shooting guard of all time. And their main thing was they put him over Dwayne Wade in that third spot. When
Ooh,
it's all said and done, are we, number one, where does he rank on that list for you? And are we supposed to look at him as a shooting guard or a point guard?
yeah, no, this is definitely a big topic. First, I definitely would categorize James Harden as a shooting guard. He to me, like, he's a combo guard. Obviously, he's been playing a lot of point guard the past 4.5, 5 years. But to me, came in as a shooting guard, you know, reached superstar status as a shooting guard and kind of maintained that for a couple years. And then, like I said, just recently switched over to the point guard spot. Um, but right now, he's not the third greatest shooting guard um, of all time. It's still Dwayne Wade. Um, Now, if James Harden gets a chip, with the Clippers or whatever happens in his future here, then I think he's definitely got a serious case as the third greatest shooting guard.
Does
Now, go ahead.
now will it weigh into? I'm just asking a quick question. Will it weigh into you that because if he went with the Clippers right now, he'd be a point guard when he did it. Does that factor
Yeah.
in your ranking?
Um, no, because it's body of work. You know what I mean? I don't whether he gets a championship as a shooting guard or a point guard, it's still like his overall body of work. And that's kind of what I'm basing it off of. Because if we're going off just individual accolades and career numbers, James Harden is over Dwayne Wade. Um, Now, who's the better player? That could go either way. They bring. I mean, D Wade's a
At his
Hall of
peak,
Fame. Yeah, bro, two-way guard. If he could defend his butt off, scored. Was a scoring leader. Could score crazy. And James Harden's a generational bucket, bro. Like, could get it anywhere. So it's like apples and oranges. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
whatever you
It
want.
it was is who is it's really a question of who you prefer. It's really an
Yeah.
answer like who do you prefer? I think to answer, I think this is a great question because I haven't looked at James Harden as a shooting guard in a long time.
Hmm.
Like you said, it's been a few seasons since I even kind of visioned him as I've just looked at him as a point guard. Because
Yeah.
and and I think it gets a little tricky as well because even in the years where he was averaging 30 at his peak, bro, he had a 3 year. Well, I mean, look at it this way: first year in Houston, dang, bro, I'm looking at his stats. It's unbelievable, bro. Let's
Yeah.
just look his third year in Houston, 27 a game. Fourth year, 29 a game. Fifth year, 29 a game. Sixth year, 30. Seventh, 36. Eighth year in Houston, he averaged 34 a game, bro. Um, it's kind of weird because you got to kind of do the history and the knowledge of when he actually transitioned to the point guard. Because I do
Hmm.
think it happened at a certain point in Houston. I don't necessarily say it started when he got to the Nets.
Yeah.
At some point when he was in Houston scoring a lot, he became the point guard. Um, and it gets a little tricky because when Chris Paul got there,
Yeah, bro. Like,
You can make the case that he was still the point guard, and low key, Chris Paul kind of became the shooting guard of that team. If you if you
bro, I'll
if
tell
you
you
kind of
what.
think about it,
I'll tell you what kind of makes this argument a little weird is the evolution of the game and how we've transitioned into positionless basketball.
yeah,
And now it's hard to tell who's who in the court, bro. It's like you could have a 6 foot, a 5'11", 6 foot dude, Chris Paul. It looks like a shooting guard
yeah,
now,
yeah,
and
yeah.
James Harden's on the point guard, like you said. Or at some point they had Westbrook and Harden together, and who was running the point. It's like we don't know. It's whoever wants to bring the ball
Who
up.
wants the ball? And that
Um,
situation, he was definitely the point guard. They
yeah, bro.
he had a
So
lot.
it's like if we are measuring James Harden at a shooting guard, and is he the third greatest shooting guard for his short time as a shooting guard? Then no, he's not. So it's like if we're looking at it for as a whole career, if we're saying he's a shooting guard, then yeah, if he gets this chip, then he is the third greatest. But Dwayne Wade played his whole career as a shooting guard.
He
I
did.
think his rookie year he played point guard, 03, 04.
He did.
But he's got three chips, 13 All-Star appearances, 22K. He's the leading shot blocker for shooting guards ever. Um, he just has a very impressive resume as a shooting guard. So
He does. He does. With
if
that
we're
being
gonna
said,
go with that, but
no, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say if we're gonna go with James Harden as a shooting guard, we gotta kind of commit to that.
Commit to that. Yeah, I think even if we just taking the body of work, you just kind of convinced me that '06 championship that D Wade got.
Yeah,
I just think it just you can't. There's no looking around that. Like he
yeah,
won a championship as the number one guy, as the number one shooting guard.
yeah.
Like he has a chip without Bron, and he did that. And he took it because they were down 0-2 in that series in '06. So with I think that alone, plus how great of a player he was, his accomplishments, I think Wade is still solidified as a third. And honestly, I still think even if James Harden won a championship, I still think he
Mhm.
might still be solidified just a teeny bit over James Harden in that shooting guard list. Then I think you got to go James Harden at number 4. No question about it.
Right, bro. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, no, and I think overall, how do I look at him? I do think, and maybe it's recency bias.
Mhm.
When it's all said and done, I'm gonna look at James Harden as a point guard
For real.
because I think because of how the game is played and
Yeah.
how we traditionally view shooting guards throughout our time watching basketball, shooting guards didn't play like James Harden. Even when he was the shooting guard, he was such a great playmaker that it wasn't like a shooting guard.
It's very strange, bro. And you can make a case. Obviously, we talk about transcendent superstars who've evolved the game at a quicker rate. Steph Curry, LeBron, Kobe, whatever. James Harden arguably has a case for that, and because of what you just mentioned. Last thing I want to say on this topic, and I'll let you wrap it up. Um, Positionless basketball, bro, has made it extremely hard to have these lists at these positions because like you said, basketball is no longer traditional where we got a point guard who's the facilitator, the two guard is the scoring guard, the three is the swing man, kind of jack of all trades. Power forward is that's kind of the scoring forward, and the center is the big guy anchoring the low post defense and what have you. Like I said, positionless basketball has made it hard to have these comparative lists. Um, so it's really what we make of it and kind of subjective now.
It's definitely subjective, and I think we can wrap it on this. I've been thinking about this, and I've seen some people say it before on the internet, but I do think James Harden does not get his just due influence wise when it comes to the
Yeah.
game of basketball. And to me, a lot of people give credit. Some of it, most of it, is due to Steph Curry for changing the game. For me, I think the biggest thing that people overlook is that Steph Curry changed the game because he shot all the threes and he was such a great shooter, yada, 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 right? He did.
Mhm,
But I think he also changed it because the dynasty that the Warriors had, even especially when they got KD,
mhm,
only a man like James Harden had a shot at beating that team. So the guards that we see today, I coach and I see young guys, young kids. I
mhm,
don't think they're not playing like Steph Curry. They're playing like James Harden, bro. And
mhm.
I think a lot of the hoop fans may not notice it. They're
Mhm.
not playing off the ball, catch and shoot, running around the floor everywhere. No, guards are handling the basketball, making every decision, step backs. They're playing like James Harden. And
Facts.
I
Yeah, that's
think that's because James Harden realized this is the type of offense that has any type of chance against that dynasty. And that
yeah,
was because of Steph Curry. So
yeah.
I think he's one of the more influential guards in ever in basketball.
For
Players
better or worse. For better
for
or
better or
worse
worse.
too.
For better or
Yeah,
worse. Anything else you got to say, bro, before we wrap up?
bro.
I think this is a great
Successful.
episode. I think this is a great episode, bro, man. I'm K Rose. This is another episode of the Hoop Fans Podcast.
All right, folks. It's your boy Matt.
We out. We out.